Like the video and subscribe to our channel right now and get 1 week of amazing luck. Australia is world-renowned for its cute and cuddly wildlife. However, it is also home to some of the world's most dangerous and poisonous animals. Let us introduce you to the dangerous animals in Australia and advise you to avoid them. Number 10. Saltwater crocodile. Unlike other predators, saltwater crocodiles do eat human meat and, after the attacks, many crocodiles have been killed by the victims' families, eager to find the bodies of their loved ones and give them a proper burial. If you want to put your life at risk, you can visit Cahillis Crossing, a non-asphalted track that crosses the East Alligator River in the Northern Territory. In this place, you can see how the crocodiles walk like nothing in front of your car. Moreover, at 6 kilometers of this stretch of the river, 120 crocodiles have been counted. Numerous attacks take place in this nation annually, with roughly 2 of those occurrences typically resulting in fatalities. The deadliest crocodile is the saltwater variety. This animal, despite its name, is found in freshwater rivers in Australia and may remain underwater for up to 24 hours at a time without coming to the surface. It's said that for every crocodile you see, there are another 10 hidden. Most of the attacks occur when unsuspecting people bathe in the rivers. Unfortunately, most of their victims are children, since it's easier to bite them, drag them to the bottom, and tear them apart. Number 9. Inland taipan. The world's most venomous snake is the inland taipan. An individual bite is thought to be capable of killing over 100 humans and 253,000 mice. Luckily, it is said to be a calm snake that inhabits extremely isolated places. As opposed to its rival, the coastal taipan, which is native to northern Australia and has a reputation for being a brat. Despite this, when a human runs into the inland taipan, it'll raise its forebody in a tight low S-shaped curve. So be careful. If the threat persists, it'll attack you without mercy. The inland taipan's potent venom also results in severe internal bleeding, stroke, respiratory paralysis, and muscle tissue death. Concurrently experiencing all the symptoms. A man who handled taipans was bitten in 2013 while working with snakes. And he was having terrible convulsions a few minutes later. Thankfully, he was rescued from certain death by being sent to a hospital promptly. Number 8. Blue-ringed octopus. This tiny octopus actually possesses enough venom to kill 26 grown people. Their bites have been linked to at least 2 horrifying deaths in Australia. Many other victims have been at the point of death. The octopus will light up its blue rings as a warning if it senses danger, and it will bite if the threat continues. Since their bites are usually minor and harmless, many people are unaware that they have been attacked. As a matter of fact, individuals are unaware of the danger until they experience the initial signs of envenomation. The effects of the venom include nausea, blindness, and heart failure, and also paralysis of the diaphragm muscles, which will lead to death by suffocation. However, the victim can be saved if it is connected to an artificial respiration machine. Well, now you know more about this octopus. Don't risk your life, just like these tourists did. Number 7. Kangaroo. These adorable cute animals are regarded as some of Australia's most dangerous creatures, believe it or not. Given that they cause about 5% of the nation's car accident-related deaths. There are 2 kangaroos for every person in Australia, and since they typically cross the highways at top speed, the majority of them get driven over and end up on the pavement. These unanticipated occurrences sadly also have deadly effects on humans in addition to animals. Particularly if the roadkill is a member of a big species like the red kangaroo. The eastern grey kangaroo, western grey kangaroo, and common wallaroo are the other species in question. The most catastrophic collisions happen when cars abruptly swerve to avoid running over a kangaroo and wind up crashing into something else, like a tree or a car traveling in the opposite direction. However, because they account for half of the fatalities brought on by a kangaroo jumping onto the road, motorcycle riders are the ones who suffer the most from these incidents. This proves that a marsupial does not have to be a predator in order to be considered dangerous, even if there are numerous accounts of people who have been assaulted by these animals. Number 6. Sydney funnel web spider. The world's most deadly spider is the Sydney funnel web spider. Its name suggests that it is a resident of Sydney and its surrounding areas. Because of this, they frequently run into people who are shocked to see them in their own homes. Its difficult nature is the worst of it. The funnel web spider will rear up on its hind legs and bare its fangs if you threat it or provoke it. Its body length ranges from 0.4 to 2 inches, and its powerful bite may pierce fingernails and penetrate so deeply that it can occasionally be challenging to free itself from its victim after it has bitten them. Its fangs inoculate a substance called saxitoxin that reaches the circulatory system in a few minutes and causes sweating, lacrimation, muscle spasms, and soon after, heart and respiratory failure, which can only mean death. Number 5. Geographer Cone. The Geographer Cone uses its proboscis as a harpoon to inject venom into its victims. This animal is also known as the cigarette snail, since it's said that it kills a human being in 5 minutes, the time it would take to smoke a cigarette. People who have been bitten by this dangerous animal only feel a pain similar to the sting of a bee at the beginning, but the symptoms and death don't take long to come. Worst of all, there's no antidote, so the sole hope of the victims is that doctors keep them alive in the midst of atrocious suffering until their body eliminates the venom by itself. Number 4. Stonefish. The world's most venomous fish had to be included in our list of deadly Australian species. It can also resemble a rock or a coral, making it extremely challenging to quickly identify. The dorsal fin of the stonefish contains 13 fish bones. They can puncture the sole of a shoe because they are so strong. They have a thick coat of skin covering them, and they straighten it when they sense danger. There are 2 poisonous glands at the base of each of these fish bones. These glands function as a syringe-like venom release mechanism when a human or predator is impaled with a fish bone. Many of those who have been stung by this sting have called out for the afflicted limb to be cut off since the pain is terrible. Apart from the pain, the affected area may expand, paralysis may occur, muscle tissue death may occur, and heart failure may occur. You should be terrified of a pain that severe, even if there is a remedy. Number 3. Bull shark. The bull shark, which is thought to be far more hazardous than the white shark itself, had to be included on this list. Bull sharks are found in both fresh and salt water, and nothing stops them from blending in with the waters of rivers, lakes, and even canals close to populated areas. As a result, they are more often the targets of attacks than any other shark species. It is well known in Australia that the Brisbane River is home to bull shark infestations. Thus I strongly advise against entering the water, as younger sharks and pregnant adult females typically live in rivers. Due to their heightened demand for food, these are particularly deadly species that spawn in freshwater environments. Thus, you need to take extreme caution when bathing anywhere in Australia, even if it's far from the ocean, as you could still encounter a deadly shark. Number 2. Sea wasp. It's considered the most venomous in the world. The sea wasp has 60 10-foot-long tentacles covered with ultra-thin cells that inoculate the venom inside the victim's body. The venom causes extreme pain, necrosis, or tissue death, and heart failure, which causes death. Although there's no antidote yet, scientists have tried a new compound in rodents, and have managed to stop the pain and the necrosis, which constitutes a real hope. Number 1. Dingo. From time to time, dingo attacks show up on the Australian news headlines. These wild dogs are usually a real problem for Australians who have children, since these dogs venture into the interior of the country in order to bite children. Most of the attacks have taken place on Fraser Island. Fortunately, not all of its victims have died. For example, the 14-month-old baby who was attacked by a pack that broke into his parents' mobile home.